Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Mackay T Podcast. Here are your hosts, Brian Mackay and T Davis.
This is the Mackay T Show. This is the Mackay T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Brian Mackay and T Davis. Yeah, you can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. This is our special Christmas episode. As always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Brian Mackay, and I am with
T. It is great to be Florida Gator. Merry Christmas, Davis.
Oh, you done added Merry Christmas to your back. Lord, who you gonna see to get your name changed? Cause they gonna love you.
Well, you know, I had to talk to my people, but this is temporary, so they just gave me this temporary card.
Oh man. Well, we're gonna have a couple of guests on today for you guys, but first off, we just want to kind of run down what we'll be going through today. First thing we'll talk about is the New Year's 6 bowl games. We'll give our predictions and a little rundown of each game. You got the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, the Capital One Orange Bowl, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, the Battle Frog Fiesta Bowl, the Rose Bowl presented by Northwestern Mutual, and the All-State Sugar Bowl. T, I will send you $10 through Pop Money today if you can tell me what Battle Frog is.
What a Battle Frog is?
Yeah, what Battle Frog, the company Battle Frog is.
They sell sports apparel.
Are you guessing? Or are you serious?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. I was wondering if you knew.
I don't know. The Battle Frog sounds like some hunting company. It's just some stupid, like the Poinsettia. What was the Poinsettia Federal Mutual?
The San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's way too much. Way too much.
Presented by Mutual Omaha. Come on, I can't do it. Go ahead. I can't.
Yeah, so we'll go through those, and then we will, we have a little special segment where we will ask each, T, I, and our guests will all pick 2 superheroes, human superheroes, or villains, that we would like to combine as the powers for ourselves. So we were asked to choose 2 to combine the powers for ourselves, which I think that'll be that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun to hear that.
Because I was almost gonna be a mutant, but I realized. Go ahead.
And then we'll give our favorite either Christmas toy or Christmas memory, since it's the Christmas season. And then our last segment, T and I will give our review on the Netflix series Marvel's Jessica Jones.
Me and Mrs. Jones.
Oh my. Yes, and then we'll wrap up the show with T and I giving our New Year's resolutions for 2016. Yes. So this ought to be an interesting show. We'll go ahead and just throw it to our first break real quick and get our cohorts, our big time guests on the line, and we'll be back on the other side. This has been the Mackay T Show. Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. We want to welcome in our special guest, Henry Hall. Henry is a good friend of mine. He is married to one of my best friends from high school, and still today. Even though last night she claimed she told someone the other day when they asked who I was when I came to one of her games. She's a high school basketball coach down here on the coast, and she said her exact words to the guy was, "I guess he's one of my best friends." See? So I don't know where we're gonna go with that, but I'll get Martha together one day. But let's see.
She's something else.
Yes, she is. But we'll jump right into it. Jumping into our New Year's Day bowl picks. What I'll do is I'll just lay the game out there, lay one game out, kind of give a little rundown, real quick, couple of notes about it, and then I'll just go with the picks.
Okay.
So Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. We got number 18 Houston against number 9 Florida State. Let's see, can Tom Herman's Houston Cougars, led by quarterback Greg Ward Jr. and wide receiver DeMarcus Ayers, can they garner a little bit of legitimacy with a win over a perennial powerhouse in Florida State? And what I mean by legitimacy, they're 12-1 on the season, but playing in the American Conference, they haven't really, quote unquote, had a big game. So this would be a huge game for them. Florida State is led by running back Dalvin Cook, who will be looking to finish off their season on a high note after losing the ACC championship game to Clemson. Or not ACC, losing out on a chance to play in the ACC championship game when they lost to Clemson a few weeks ago. Let's see, I'll let ladies go first. So, T, who do you have?
Okay. Anybody that knows me, if you've ever heard my full name, you know I can never go for Florida State, so I'm picking Houston because don't like Florida State at all, ever, never. And if Houston's defense can do anything to keep Cook from running up wild, they'll be fine.
All right, so T has Houston. Henry, who you got?
Well, I usually like for the small underdog. Houston, a former member of Conference USA, since they reverted over to AACF, so they have a little hate for them now, considering moving up a little bit. I actually think this is going to be pretty close, hard off. Why? Because of the fact of Florida State. I don't think they're going to come into this game looking at Houston as a real threat. They're looking at Houston as being a third-par opponent compared to a lot of other big teams. So I think they're actually going to come out of the blocks kind of slow, and Houston's going to actually keep it close relatively in the game. However, probably moving into the fourth quarter a little bit, the had a no difference. As you said a little bit earlier, Houston has played some good quality teams, and they haven't played any elite or premier teams like Florida State has.
Right.
So I'm going to go with Florida State on this one, pulling away in the fourth quarter, 44-31.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pick Houston, not only because I know my co-host will beat me down if I pick Florida State, but I've seen them play a couple times. I really, really like the combination of Greg Ward Jr. and DeMarcus Ayers. I think they have a good little chemistry going. Like you said, Henry, I think they're going to play with them because Florida State is going to come out slow, in my opinion, just like yours. I think they'll come out slow, underestimating Houston, and they have enough firepower to stay with them throughout the game, and I think they can pull it out. It'll be a close one.
Yes, I agree with that. Just one little side note on that. It hurts me to pick Florida State as well. I don't want to hear it. Hear it. You didn't seem too hurt when you just said it. I have to be a realist as well. I do, but I have to put the red money on Florida State.
Okay. All right. Moving on, and the games, as I call them out, they're by chronological, by date. So the first game, date and time would be the Peach Bowl, and then we have the first semifinal game for the national championship of the Capital One Orange Bowl. Number 4, Oklahoma versus number 1, Clemson. This is a matchup of dynamic quarterbacks. You got Clemson's Deshaun Watson and Oklahoma's Baker Mayfield. Both teams obviously looking to get into the BCS championship game. Oklahoma has a little extra motivation in trying to get a little revenge for last year's 40-6 loss to Clemson in the 2014 Russell Athletic Bowl. And Clemson is looking to keep their perfect season intact. So once again, I'll let the ladies go first. T?
Okay, so you know my premise on losing before you get to a big game.
Yes.
And so, it's hard, it's stressful trying to be undefeated. Now you got the pressure of it. We come this far, and now we could just be with nothing. And I really think that Oklahoma is going to find a way to beat Clemson. One, I feel like Clemson seems to, like they struggled. They barely beat Florida State earlier. Some fluke, something happened. I feel like I can't recall exactly. And then, like you said, Oklahoma probably have not forgotten that I guess it wasn't up there, but getting beat last year, so they're going to have a little chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
So I'm going Oklahoma in this one.
Okay. Henry, who you got?
This is another tough one for me. I usually don't grow against Bob Stoops. You know, I think she's a good quarterback. I mean, good coach.
Right.
However, most teams are playing with chips on their shoulder, and I feel I might be jumping the gun a little bit. I feel everyone wants to see an Oklahoma versus Alabama national championship game. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think Clemson still have to prove that they are the best team in the country. So I'm going with Clemson, probably 41-37.
Okay. Well, I'm going with Oklahoma for exactly what you just said. Everybody in the country wants to see that matchup because of what Oklahoma did in the Sugar Bowl a couple years ago, and also in making my brother-in-law, who is a huge Alabama fan, happy, and he wants that matchup because he sat in the New Orleans in the Superdome during the Sugar Bowl during that game and had to deal with all those Oklahoma fans just making so much fun of him with all his Alabama gear, and they just got beat down in that game. So I'm looking for an Oklahoma-Alabama rematch, which that's going to lead us into the next game is the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, the second semifinal, which is between number 3 Michigan State and number 2 Alabama. Alabama is led by Heisman Trophy winner Derrick Henry, looking to win yet another national championship for both the SEC and their school, respectively. Michigan State looking to continue their magical ride where it just seems like their team just seemingly always finds that all-important turnover when they need it. And like every game down the stretch of their season, they found a way to win it. So, keeping with the theme, we'll go with T first. Who you got?
All time. Now, you know I don't like time, but I gotta go to my SEC school, and Michigan State just keep winning on like these wins in the prayer. They barely beat who did they just play? Iowa.
And we know what happened against Michigan.
I don't see them, huh?
I said that we know what happened against Michigan.
Oh God, the Michigan kicker. Yeah, I'm going. I don't think they're gonna be able to stop him. He probably run 40 times for like 200, 300 yards. And that Alabama defense, Michigan State. I mean, Iowa was tough, but Alabama defense probably they gonna struggle. Alabama, roll tide.
All right, Henry.
Okay, on this pick right here, it's no secret that Alabama has built their dynasty, we'll call it, on good defenses and a good running back. That's obvious. However, let me start by saying this: I'm picking down in this game. I know my wife will be happy to hear that. She's a big Bama fan. I'm picking Bama because I think they're gonna win in a and they're gonna force Bama's quarterback to actually make a few plays in this one. That's gonna catch Michigan State off guard. So go for Bama 28-24, and again, sort of like Keith said, when it's all on the line, you really don't want to bet against Nick Saban in the playoffs.
No.
You really don't.
No, not at all. Let's see, moving on to our next game, we got the Battle Frog Fiesta Bowl. Number 8.
Did we find out what this Battle Frog is?
No, actually, let's start now. Henry, do you know what Battle Frog is?
A Battle Frog?
What the coach is?
I do not, actually. Can you enlighten me a little bit?
No, we did. Neither one of us knew, and we started off the show trying to figure it out, and I refused.
We can't enlighten you. Also, somebody fans a tweet or put some comment and let us know, because I don't even really plan on Googling that one.
Right, I didn't care at all to even Google it, so I'm sure that we'll get blasted with comments on that one, but that's fine.
It looks like it's some type of obstacle course race.
Okay.
Just doing a quick search, I guess this is a big obstacle course that came on board as a sponsor, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Put some money into the game. That's what it looks like. It's like a mud run.
Okay. All right.
It must be like Tough Mudder. That's what I was gonna say. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you got number 8 Notre Dame against number 7 Ohio State. Big time coaching matchup between Urban Meyer and Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Running back Ezekiel Elliott of Ohio State and whatever quarterback is going to be starting will look to close out their tumultuous season with a win. Notre Dame looking to continue their find a way mentality, as injuries has seemingly caused a bunch of multiple lineup changes throughout the season, but the Fighting Irish keep finding a way to keep on ticking. So, T, who you got in this game?
I think this game is going to be close, and really the only reason that I'm picking this team is because I have some connection with them. You can guess, Brian, who then, since I just said I have some connection with them.
Yes, because your coach had some heart problems and left y'all.
So we're going with the heart attack kid, the Buckeyes and Urban. And one of the reasons, besides my connection with Urban, is because Notre Dame, now, all these Notre Dame fans that like actually, the one or two that might actually... Okay, go ahead. Notre Dame, has been like, Notre Dame is the best thing since sliced bread. When was the last time Notre Dame won anything? That team has won a championship before the football team has. And you would swear that Notre Dame is like Alabama in the last 10 years. Like, they've been to the championship. Notre Dame is not that good, but you would swear that they just walk on one. You hit that guy. I don't understand. I just don't understand it. Go Buckeyes.
Alright. Henry, who you going with?
Well, Pete, once again, I have to go against you. Like I was speaking a while ago, I don't like Florida State. One big reason why is because of the fact I am a big Notre Dame fan. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. However, again, I am a realist. Like Nick Saban, Urban Meyer is a coach that I really wouldn't want to bet against. And if I had to bet against someone other than Nick Saban, I would for Urban Meyer. I am predicting Ohio State will win this game 37-28. But I think Notre Dame's going to keep it close most of the game. But Ohio State, I think, is going to pull out the victory.
Well, that's fine. I'm going.
To answer your question, it was 1993 our last championship ring.
I knew he was gonna know that. I knew it. I knew he was gonna know it.
I don't understand. Until Bama won the championship before last, Notre Dame had the most overall legitimate championship or should have been overall polls. I remember throwing that out there as well. Word is the tail, and if you say 93, you kind of like, and I love my Rebels, but it's have won 2 championships, 1963 and 60. Okay, which one of us was born? None of us were even born. And when y'all won most of them championships, most of us were either toddlers or weren't born. So what have you done with me? Like, I understand. I was 13 when the Notre Dame. That's when one of our 11 championships compared to Florida State. So I can understand where you see the difference right there. But it's okay. It's all right. I'm like, so it's okay.
Well, I'm going against both of y'all's picks, and I'm taking Notre Dame in this one. I think that there's too much going on with Ohio State's players getting ready to go to the NFL, and I think they're gonna have that on their mind. And I think that's gonna weigh in on this game. I don't think they'll be playing as hard because they'll want to protect their future. And I'm gonna take Notre Dame to win this one.
Okay.
So. Next game on the docket, you got the Rose Bowl presented by Northwestern Mutual. Number 6 Stanford versus number 5 Iowa. Got running backs galore in this matchup. Iowa's two-headed monster of LaShawn Daniels Jr. and Jordan Kanziri going up against Stanford Cardinals, and who are led by the AP Player of the Year and Heisman runner-up Christian McCaffrey. T, who you got?
I like Stanford. Not that I don't like Iowa's tough. It's gonna be a tough game because both of them it's gonna be a slugfest. But I just like McCaffrey a lot, and I'm just going with the Cardinals because I don't even know a lot about Iowa. And besides, they look like the Steelers every time I look at them. I'm like, what, the Pittsburgh Steelers? So,
all right, well, Henry. All right, Henry, who you got?
Okay, for this game, McCaffrey has really grown on me this year. I was at the beginning of the year, I might be dumb to the fact that, put it in layman's terms, I really didn't know who he was. And I got a chance to watch him play a little bit this year. And he's a very good player. Very good player. As far as Iowa goes, I know they want to be a team with a chip on their shoulder and stuff as well, but I think the honeymoon period is over after they lost the championship game. I'm going with Stanford, 37-24. I just like their makeup.
Okay. So that's the second one we all agree on, with Alabama being the first. Yes, the main event, the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Oh Lord.
Number 16 Oklahoma State against the number 12 Ole Miss Rebels. I was going to start this off by saying it'll be the battle of Oklahoma State's offense against Ole Miss's defense, but after recent events, I am changing that to a battle of two very good quarterback and wide receiver combos with Oklahoma State's Mason Rudolph and wide receiver James Washington going against Ole Miss's Chad Kelly and Laquan Treadwell. T, who you got?
Oklahoma gonna kill us, and I'm so sad about it. When they say Oklahoma State, I was like, can we please play somebody else? Because our secondary is atrocious. And if Arkansas put up 52, Oklahoma State might put up 62. Because Mr. Washington is the real deal. And as fast as they get up to the line, it didn't matter if Kimdichie played or not. He would have been so out of breath by the fourth or fifth play in that series, rather. There's a point be up there. That'd be moving. And it's very impressive. And any little wrinkles that they gonna get to throw in during this 4 or 5 weeks that they off right now and getting to do some little things. And as much as I love Laquan, Chad Kelly, he alright to me. I mean, he ain't been terrible, but he ain't been great either. And we don't have a running game necessarily. It's gonna be a long game. It's gonna be a long day.
Alright, well, Henry, who you going with?
In this particular matchup, again, when it comes down to throw season, I hardly ever root against the SEC. The SEC usually shows up the bowl game. But again, like you said, because of the defense and the defense taking a hit, as well as the aspect of the football team, because everyone's going to be your time. I am going to have to go for Oklahoma State in this one as well. I'm pretty Oklahoma State offense, and that my alma mater, Kevin Lynch, has pulled all three OCs over the last 20 years to be our head coaches. Pretty familiar with the offense. I think they are going to go sideline to sideline to tie the Ole Miss defense down a little bit before they start going vertical and stretch the game out of proportion. Ole Miss quarterback, I think he's a high risk, high reward player. I think he's going to make a couple of mistakes early that Ole Miss is not going to be able to come back from. So I'm picking Oklahoma State in this one, probably 35-21.
I don't care what either one of y'all say. I'm still picking my brothers. I'm not going against family. I ain't doing it. I'm still taking Ole Miss.
Last year when we played TCU, I didn't want to see that many fields. Look what happened.
And then don't let me call you out since your paycheck is coming from Ole Miss and you picking against them. Don't have me call you out, T.
Be clear about that. My paycheck does not come from the athletic department. My paycheck comes from the institution. I will add this, that one small glimmer of hope that Ole Miss will have is if they can get pressure against Oklahoma State, rushing three or four, and they don't have to blitz every single time, then at the end of the day, before that line, they might have a chance going to the fourth. However, if they're going to have to send blitz package after blitz package, they won't make it to the fourth quarter. Yeah, let's be clear. Number one, Kim Beach is not playing. Okay, even if he was, I'm still saying he would be too tired to do anything. Right? They're not going to be able to blitz no three and get no pressure. Your boys be moving so fast at Oklahoma State. They get first down just on the mere fact that they moving so fast that your defense just don't even know what to do. And they get like 3 yards on a little short. It'd be 3rd and 3. It was several times. It was like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. They got up there so fast. Before the dudes knew anything, they had hiked the ball and they done ran for 3 or 4 or 5 yards. And then again, Washington, he's gonna have a field day. Cause this thing there, I don't know what's wrong with him.
I'm trying so hard not to say too much because I'm hurt here recently with Kim Dichie, trying to play Superman, flying out of hotel windows, and so I
B-Mac, I have a question for you. I know it's off the shit a little bit.
Okay.
Because of the status at him, what do you think his draft stock will fall?
Well, before all this happened, I mean, he was predicted, top 5, maybe top 10. Where do the Cowboys pick? Because they seem to take chances on people. So yeah, I don't know. I still think he'll go in the first round off of talent. I think he'll be able to convince somebody that he'll change, but I mean, this is not the first time that him and his brother have gotten into instances like this, even this year. So,
Okay, who's some of the top picks? Because this is what I'm gonna tell you. If he I don't think he's gonna fall out of the top 15. He probably still gonna go up to top 10. Because this is what's gonna happen. Everybody, like we talked about on draft day, Hugh Freeze is going to do his job and say, this is a good kid, he was in a bad environment, which is true. He got bad support system at home. Okay, now, if you're on the team, and obviously if you lose, this year you could be losing and not necessarily have a bunch of young players. If you got some veterans on your team that you think can help him along the way, you going to go ahead and take that chance. They take chances all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know who's going to be like in the top 10 or 15. I don't think he's going to fall that far. Just to fill you in, if the draft started today, the playoffs. If the draft started today, you would have Tennessee Titans number 1, Cleveland number 2, San Diego number 3, Ravens 4, and the Cowboys 5. I can see the Ravens taking him if they have a need for that. Why? Because they know that they have a great support system now where they're going to have older guys on the team that can kind of not keep him in check, quote unquote, but can help him as he matures into being a man. So I don't think he's going to fall that far because, he done had a couple of issues here and there, but again, they teach you before you go to all these meetings what to say, how to say it, he'll be well groomed, and the coaches aren't going to say anything bad against him because that's just not what coaches do. And so they'll say, all right, we got a good system here. We got veterans here that can help him along the way because he's talented. He's a big body, and like big bodies like him don't come along every day.
Right.
Just that athletic because he's huge. Like, it's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he's right there next to 300 pounds, but you would not know it by looking at him. I mean, he's cut.
When you see him, it's impressive. I saw him and I was like, God, like, I was in awe. Well,
he's a specimen, man. He's a freaking nature type athlete.
Yeah, and so I really don't see, and then we see guys all the time that have drug issues and all this, and they take the chance. Again, what you saying, the Ravens and people like that high, I really don't see too many people passing on him, especially. Now, I can see Cleveland because they already got their issues with the quarterback they got now. And like Tennessee, they don't have like a lot of veterans that I would say that like a known quote unquote guys that hold, some weight in the locker room necessarily.
Right.
Well, that we know of in a way. But when you talk about the Ravens and teams like that, I feel like they'll be like, we got, good people in this locker room that's going to hold him accountable, and we're going to go ahead and take this chance. And he might get to the league and be fine because you have a better support system, and they can just blow up because you give him a lot of money. You just never know.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Because, you try to play Superman, and that's what it gets you. Because,
how much he is. If we fall out of a window that high, both of us will be critically injured. But he, has a bunch of bruises, so you're thinking, God, this guy, wow.
Yeah.
That's a long fall. That's like falling off the top of the backboard.
Something
Yeah.
interesting is I think the top 5 teams, number 6 and number 8 is interesting to me. Number 6 is mine below the 49ers. However, with all our issues we've had on defense,
we thought the Niners don't need him. We already in enough trouble.
Exactly. But something you said here makes a little sense is the number 8 selection. I skipped over Jacksonville, number 7. Number 8, Miami Dolphins. Like you said, if he can go to a team that already has a defensive presence, that they can bring him in and say, hey, look, you're not coming in with this mess. I'm sorry. We already established, hey, you sit here, you learn your role, and you learn that way. But if he has to go to a team and he's instantly the star on a team that's already trying to rebuild, and I think it's going to be another recipe for disaster because no one has ever put him in control. He went to, let's be real, he went to Ole Miss as the top recruit.
Right.
He did what he wanted to up there. Why the team's going to check him? That's my thought from home.
Yeah, I forgot to mention at the start of this that basically the three of us, we're pretty much the San Francisco 49ers support group talking here, as all three of us are big time fans. Yes.
I'm so sad.
Man, I am too. And I hate to get off topic again. I'm still upset that we chose our defensive line coach over our defensive coordinator when Harbaugh left.
Yeah.
How does that make sense? How do you skip being a coordinator and just jump? You were just a position coach. You don't even get to be a coordinator. You just jump to the top of the rung. You must have some dirt on somebody or something. Because this is ridiculous. That's never heard of. You ain't even been a coordinator and then you just get the head coaching job. That don't even make sense in my mind. But whatever.
And that's my theory on why we had so many people in the team between retire and just decide to leave because of the fact they really up behind Harbaugh. They really looked at our defensive coordinator. And when you just took him away and you put in our D-line coach, things just start falling apart. Like you said, I mean, he has no defensive coordinator experience. And the wheels just begin to fell off. Then we got the whole cap situation, but that's another story.
Yeah. I mean, he's 6 months into his tenure, and T still don't know how to say his name.
That's the
what I'm gonna call him. His mama might call him Tomsula. I'm calling Thompson because it just don't make no sense to me what they did, and that's all I can just to keep my wits about me. I'm gonna call him Thompson.
Right.
I had it with Ron Jeremy at first, but
Yeah. Well, we'll have to bring Henry back on another day when we're sulking about our 49ers and get into that a little more. But moving on with this show, let's see. Beforehand, I already sent it out to you guys. Y'all knew to come prepared with two human superheroes or villains that you know, with the powers that you would like to combine and have for yourself. If you could choose two human superheroes or villains with their powers, combine them for yourself, who would they be? T, go ahead.
so I was struggling with this one, folks. I was struggling. I was on the struggle bus. There's so many out there that's so intriguing. But I had to do a little research because I was like, ooh, I can pick this person. And I was like, no, that ain't even on him. So I can't pick him. So I'm going with, look, this is tentative. You can change anything. I'm going with Wolverine. Okay. Because of the healing factor, I'm going with Wolverine and Professor X.
Okay.
That he can do it. Professor X. But go ahead. Yes. Xavier. Yes. Mr. Wheelchair. We gonna get him out of that wheelchair? Because now that I got the healing, I can walk. Praise Jesus. Mind control.
Yes.
Then I got all these abilities that I can do, erasing your memory, you know, taking control of your body. Yeah, that's a good combination. So that you know, I was struggling between him and Storm because I really like the idea of controlling the weather. But when Storm had to go in the air and her eyes turn white and stuff to do that, I was like, that makes me too vulnerable. So, yeah.
Okay. I actually figured you would pick Storm. In my mind, I said T's gonna have Storm as one of hers.
Yeah, I really wanted to, but then I said, Storm, she don't have a healing factor, and yeah, it's great to control the weather, but I need some other something, one more something from you, but I couldn't find anything else besides that ability to control the weather, so I was like, I might have to pass on her.
Okay. Alright, Henry, who you gonna go with?
Well, yeah, hey, me and T and I on the same page. T, one of my favorite superheroes I'm going with is Wolverine, and I'm going with a little old school mix right here. I'm gonna say Wolverine mixed with He-Man.
He-Man. Okay.
Oh Lord, that's hilarious. I'm a girl of He-Man. I mean, when he say about powerful great stud, and if he can have him call, if he can have him call out his head at the end of the day and head to head, hey, I'm happy. I can't. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with He-Man.
That's awesome.
What about you, D-Mac?
Well, admittedly, I am not the comic book fan that many people are. I didn't grow up on them, so I kind of am going off basically just nostalgia with my picks. I really would love to be Iron Man. I've always, I love the suit. I love everything that comes with it, all the powers and things that you can do with the suit, flying around, all of that good stuff. And it's a human in a robot body, basically. And as my other half, she already guessed this long ago. She knew what my other half was gonna be. But basically, like I said, off nostalgia, Kilgrave. Most recently, the villain in the Jessica Jones season of Netflix. Obviously, beforehand, he was the villain in the comic book series. But yeah, having his abilities for mind control, being able to, like we'll talk about later when we talk about Jessica Jones, just being able to tell someone, throw that cup of coffee on yourself. Having that type of power, but using it for good. having that type of power, not necessarily using it in his way, but using it for good.
No. I have to interrupt you, Brian. I think that you want to use it for evil because you could have been Professor X too. And he not only can use mental telepathy, but he don't have to be in the same room with you. So, you could have used him. And he actually more powerful than Kilgrave seems to be. Because again, like she had that protective wall long as they were at, but for him, he could talk to you from wherever.
Hey, like I said,
I think that unspoken word what you're trying to say is you want those powers to put on Oklahoma State offensive coordinator. It's okay for you to say that.
I mean, I thought that was understood.
Yeah, then we would definitely need that.
Yes.
Why is Oklahoma State punting every time they get the ball? They punting on first down? No.
Yeah, y'all both be calling me. Y'all know what happened then.
I won't be calling you. I'll be mental telepathy. Stop it, Brian, right now. You stop.
Okay, Professor X. Nah. Oh man, yeah, that was fun. Let's see. Moving on along. Last little topic for this section. What is your favorite Christmas toy or memory, and why? T.
So my favorite Christmas toy, Lord have mercy on me, it was this tin dollhouse. It had some little wooden people. It had 2 bedrooms with bath and a kitchen in the bottom with the living room. Now the back side of it was just wide open so that you could put the people in, right, and move the furniture and whatnot. But then on the front side of the house, the little doors open. I can't remember, but the windows seemed like they used to move too. And I played with that thing forever. And I loved that. It was just a wonderful toy.
Okay.
And this side note toy I had a bird one Christmas. It was a great Christmas toy until it died because we left and the house was too hot. Anyway.
Yeah, me one.
Oh man, well, who you got, Henry? Or what you got?
Well, I will say, probably when I was around 8 years old, 8 to 10 years old, well, I can't remember that year, but when I was 8 to 10, when you sort of begin to think, okay, this sounds really real. Anyone saying he's not, but so one night I made a determination. I was determined I was going to stay up the majority of the night. I looked at all the hiding spots for toys possibly that my mom and dad could put them at. Didn't see any toys, so I'm going to try to stay up all night. I fell asleep for 30 minutes when I came back into the living room. The bike that I wanted was in there. Toys was in there. I'm like, how is this possible? There's nowhere in my house for doing a bike. Where did the bike come from? So, needless to say, I'll probably leave Santa Claus the Beard for about 2 or 3 more years. That's memory number one. And of course, memory number 1A would probably be, I have a 4-year-old, about to be 4-year-old son.
Right.
Last year, he finally realized what Christmas was. And he came in the living room and saw the Christmas tree lit up. And that look that he had on his face, that was special to me as well.
Yeah.
So those are my 2 memories.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm going to go along the same lines as Henry. I was probably maybe 4 or 5. Didn't, just kind of getting into preschool, kindergarten, where it had some other kids in there that was kind of telling me that all these foolishness, comments about Santa. I come early. I come early with the questions about Santa. So I remember staying up late, I'm going to sit here. I was even in the living room. I was in the living room, in the recliner. Knew I had the cookies and milk sitting next to me. I just knew I was going to catch him. If he was really real, I was going to catch him coming down that chimney. And everything was going to be caught. And that year, I really wanted a Teddy Ruxpin. I wanted it from day one. Oh my gosh. And I was so excited just to see him come down. I wanted him to come down that chimney. Well, like you, I fell asleep. Woke up probably 30 minutes, an hour later. Right next to me, the cookies had been eaten. The milk had been drank. and Teddy Ruxpin was sitting under the tree. And I remember thinking, how could I not hear him? How could I not hear? I'm laying right here. How did it happen? You know. But that's always a special memory to me.
Well, if you slow it down, that's how you miss it. If you were slowing it by like you slowing down, that's how you miss it.
And that's probably how. Hey, that honest the truth. That's probably how it happened, because I've always been a very, very heavy sleeper, and yeah. See, you ain't have to bust me out on the podcast like that. Hey.
Or you might have a record. Same way we got the E-Man a while ago. You brought back Teddy Ruxpin.
I know.
Yeah, you and E-Man. Oh my goodness! By the power of the great soul, with the scary cat that turned into the vicious lion or whatever you turned to. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you threw me all the way off with He-Man. I hadn't thought about He-Man since I was little. Man, but let's see. I think that's gonna wrap us up on this session. But before we let Henry go, Henry, do you have any Merry Christmas wishes you'd like to send out?
Well, just want to say a Merry Christmas to everyone. B-Mac and T, thank you all for having me on the show. To family and friends out there everywhere as well. I always got to give a shout out to my fellow soldiers serving overseas. That's all I got to say. Hey, thank you again for having me on the show, guys.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for coming. I got in there and show up.
Yeah. Well, we'll be sure to try and get you on here another time soon, and we'll all sit here and cry about our 49ers. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed.
Anyway, thanks again, guys.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. This has been the Mackay T Show podcast. Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. Netflix just recently released their Marvel's comic Jessica Jones season 1, and Lord, I just struggled through that. Let's see, we're going. Yeah, well, it's Christmas Eve.
We're gonna blame it on Harvey. We're gonna blame it on Steve Harvey. It's Steve Harvey's fault. All right, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to apologize.
Yes. Blame it on Steve.
Yeah, blame it on Steve and the Michigan kicker.
Yeah.
So,
it's all Steven now.
Anyway, Jessica Jones. Basically, you know more of her backstory probably than I do. Just coming off the season, she has superpowers, clearly. She's got a lot of super strength and, a lot of abilities. Has a somewhat of a tragic upbringing where her parents and little brother were killed in a car wreck.
Right. So, spoiler alert, anybody that want to watch it, we're not going to tell everything, but the good thing about this superhero is it's not so far-fetched like you might say, oh, some kid would never be in a red and blue suit swinging around on string through a city, or, oh, some little person was born and sent to Earth and now he's a superhero that flies around on a cape. This character is more, down to earth, believable, and whether you even like comics or even care about comics, I think it's something that just a regular person would enjoy because the storyline is good, and again, it's not so outlandish that you like, oh, yeah, this is really superhero-ish. It's more of just a good storyline. Yeah, they do have superpowers, but storyline is really good and it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I do like the fact that they kind of keep it relevant. Like, they keep her grounded. She's not up flying in the air and, things like that. She's a regular person, which, that kind of appeals to someone who maybe is not a comic fan, per se.
Right.
They're just looking for a good story. I think that appeals to that person, and that makes this, a lot more enjoyable than, it necessarily could be. So basically,
Because even though Peter Parker is kind of a relatable character, again, when he get on his suit and start flying and climbing the walls, unless you like that, which I happen to enjoy superheroes movies and stories. For the person that would not, I think you would just like Jessica Jones, and if we didn't tell you she was a superhero, you may or may not even pay it attention. Because there's a few things she does in the first part before you realize her power that, now I see why she could do that. So I don't want to give away a lot, but
right, yeah, she basically is now acting as a private eye detective. She's kind of giving up her superpower way. She still has her powers, but she is using them more now in the private eye sector, trying to be a regular person, trying to blend in with society. She is you don't find out till later on in the season, but she gets caught up with this male character who is the villain, Kilgrave, which you heard about in earlier in our show when I gave my superhero combination. He, like I said earlier, he has the mind control.
Doing Netflix, go ahead and watch it because another one is coming out soon with Luke Cage, who is also in this story, which is also another superhero. Marvel has so many superheroes. I went to not the library. I was in the bookstore and I went to the graphic novel section and I pulled out one of their books and just sat down and went through it. I was like, oh my God, they got so many superheroes. Even if you want to come up with a character now, you can come up with some storyline or whatever, but it's pretty much every power that could ever have happened, they don't use on somebody.
Right, they don't leave anything to turn. They cover all bases.
So yeah, Luke Cage, he is in this story, and it's my understanding that they have. Is it the Flash that they have? That's the other one they got up. Daredevil. They got another on Netflix.
Yeah.
No, Daredevil. So Daredevil, apparently you see, haven't watched it, but I was told that they will have characters in other stories. So Luke Cage, even though he's in Jessica's story, they might be cross. I can't use contaminate, but cross. Have them in each other's stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they pretty much give her as like he's Jessica's love interest. I will give you that spoiler. He is the love interest in this season.
And in the whole comic book world, because as I told my co-host, the comic book, they have a child together.
Yes, and I thought
down the road, but
as I was watching the season, I did a little research on it, and I found that out as well. Even right before you told me, and I don't want to give out like I said, I don't give out everything, so I don't want to tell you like how he even comes into it. It's just something that you need to watch. It's a good little storyline because you really don't see it coming. Like it just kind of hits you.
I haven't made it through the whole thing, but a lot of stuff that's happened, I was like, didn't know that was happening. And I'm curious to see what is going on with this cop that her best friend is being involved with.
Yes, Trish, her best friend from childhood.
These red and blue and white pills. I'm like, okay, something is up with him, but we'll see. Hopefully y'all will watch it with us.
Yeah, I've actually seen the entire season, so I want to kind of temper it. I don't want to give away everything to T, and I don't give everything, to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But I will say that it all has a bunch of twists and turns towards the end of the season, where you kind of bang, bang, bang. Like I said earlier, Kilgrave has the mind control, where he basically can just control anyone just by speaking to them. I mean, he, like you and I always say, he just has people just throw hot coffee on themselves just by saying.
That's what I was about to say. One of the funnier parts was when he told that man, he was like, throw that coffee in your face.
And they
the man did it and screaming. I was like, it's kind of not funny, but it was hilarious.
I mean, it's crazy, and that was part of the reason I wanted, in my superhero combination to have the mind control, because not necessarily to do stuff like that, but the good that you can do with it. So,
right. I know you want to do some bad stuff. Stop it.
Well, not everything has to be good.
Don't let talk in your face.
But let's see. Moving on to our New Year's resolutions. I'll let ladies go first.
Okay, so here's the thing. You know how I like to break the rules. I really don't do resolutions because I try to live my life as such that I don't have to make a lot of changes. Obviously, we always, have a closer walk with God and read the Bible more than I do. I do read it, but surely I could read more. Probably could pray a little more. But other than that, I work out. I've changed my diet so much. My brother gets on me because I keep saying I'm taking stuff out of my diet, and I haven't put a lot of in. My one thing that I was going to attempt to do at least for 3 to 6 months was give up chewing gum, because for those of you who do not know, I do have a dependency. I wouldn't even say a dependency. I love chewing gum, and I chew it all the time. And I had to ask my dentist to make sure it was fine, because I chew gum like I can go through a pack of gum in a half a day, not even a day.
Yes, you can.
And so I love gum, but I will say, and this is not a New Year's resolution, I'm giving up popcorn, or microwave popcorn, I should say, because I've read too many times that it's some toxic thing that happens when it's in the microwave, and it gets stuck in my teeth a lot. So my dentist probably be happy about me giving up microwave popcorn. Now that's not to say that I won't go to Target and get popcorn or something, but
and not to cut you off, but ladies and gentlemen, if she's giving up popcorn and trying to cut back on chewing gum, microwave popcorn, excuse me, and trying to cut back on chewing gum, that basically leaves ice cream in T's diet. T is cutting out.
Yeah, that probably like oatmeal and cereal. Because I have a fondness for popcorn too.
Yes. As far as mine, I just really got really generic with a couple, just living healthier. Like I've already started doing my own version of what I call MacFit instead of CrossFit. I do my own version of CrossFit, as well as I do some yoga. So I'm gonna continue that, continue living healthier, making better choices in eating. That's along the lines of living healthier. I'm going to continue to strive to make BMAC Productions and this podcast, the Mac and T Show, the best it can be, getting the word out about it. We're gaining viewers with each passing episode, and it's awesome to see like people that I knew that eventually this would happen, but it's people that you don't even know, just people from all over the country that are commenting, on Twitter, or making comments on the YouTube videos itself, just about things that we're talking about. So I think that's awesome, and I'm gonna continue to, to strive for more of that. And my last thing is I'm gonna do a better job of worrying less about things that I can't control, and just striving for more, just striving to be better in that regard.
Good, that's good. That's good.
Because you know me, and a lot of other people that listen to this will know that I worry about everything. And I let a lot of things get to me that probably shouldn't. And that's one thing that I'm going to focus on in the new year and doing a lot better job of, just kind of shrugging off my shoulders a little bit.
You gotta shake it off like a cat on the sunshine. Okay.
Well, that is going to wrap up our show. Right before we get off, you got any Merry Christmas that you want to send out to anybody special?
Merry Christmas to all, and to all, Presley, y'all have a happy new year.
Yeah. And I want to give a Merry Christmas to my family and all my close friends. You know who you are. May you have a wonderful Christmas and a very, very happy and prosperous 2016. But like always, I am one of your co-hosts, Brian Mackay, and I am with
T. It is great to be in Florida. Gator. Merry Christmas, Davis.
This has been the Mackay T Show podcast. Merry Christmas, everyone.